Right, hello everybody. It's a we're back for another episode of Talking Balldocks with me, Neil Baldock, and my brother.
Matt Baldock.
Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you.
So yeah, today we are going to talk about. We're obviously about 2 weeks out from Christmas, aren't we? And we thought
Just
it'd be,
less,
pardon,
just under 2 weeks.
just under 2 weeks. So yeah, it's coming up. Hope everybody's done their Christmas shopping. Um, but we thought it'd be a good idea to talk about. Is this the right time? Should you be slowing down and sort of relaxing now into Christmas, or is it the time to actually ramp up efforts and carry on right up until the day? So, what's your thoughts, Matt?
Well, first of all, I want to know, have you done your Christmas shopping?
Partially,
Okay.
but don't worry, I've got it covered.
No, yeah, fine. Okay, there's still plenty of time. Home delivery is brilliant, isn't it? Um, so yeah, it's that. So we're on the 12th of December, and it's kind of around December time. A lot of people think, shit, I haven't done any planning for the new year. So listen, we could do the rah rah. You should have all done your planning for next year in September, but ultimately, a lot of people won't, right? Because they're busy working in the business, they have time they're on the business. So two things. It's not too late, I think, and the plan doesn't always have to start on the 1st of January. Let's always, if you I even don't, this doesn't inspire you to do something today, and you end up doing your planning on the 3rd of January, fine. It's better to start late than never. It's just best to start doing something. But so get some of you. If you haven't set your plans out for January, you need to. But by the same token, that doesn't mean you need to stop work now. It's not okay, do I carry on going trying to drive business in December or do I plan for January? It's really a bit of both. Um, and if you've got a team, you talk about how you kind of siphon those job responsibilities out. And if you're by yourself, tough. Some of the day you've got to focus on your business, and some of the day you've got to focus on actually still driving it forward.
Yeah, 100%. I think the thing is what we obviously what we're doing now is going to set us up for our our first quarter of 2025 and well, even probably into the first half of 2025. So yeah, we could put our feet up and have a few more mince pies, trying to stay off those as much as possible. But
I
of
think
course, that's not really the best idea. I think the one thing for me is like even if basically, I'd be speaking to as many people, and we're telling our team to speak to as many people as we can right up until the day the office is closed. Because even if people aren't moving right now and they're saying, look, obviously, I'm too busy to have you around for evaluation now, but I'll be thinking about that again in January. Um, Having that touch point with them, having that conversation with them can only be a good thing. People don't they don't literally, if people are thinking about moving, they don't literally sort of think, I'm now not thinking of moving just because it's Christmas. They might also have Christmas on their mind, but they don't erase the fact that they're thinking about moving from their mind. So therefore, having a conversation with them about it and keeping it actually fresh in their mind, can only be a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. And there is still business out there. I mean, I check, obviously, right move every day. Other agents are putting houses on the market. I put one on Tuesday. I've come into the morning meeting today. It's a Thursday, just for reference. I found out we've agreed a deal. We've got another instruction. We've got two valuations today. I've got a signed contract to launch something on the 6th of January. So yeah, there's people moving, and it's not. I know I don't really want to get too bogged down in this Boxing Day nonsense, but
Well, I was going to ask about that, so we might as well.
well, the weird thing is, I had someone phone me the other day and said, "Is it true that I can only launch my house on Boxing Day?" And I said, "No, of course not." Because I want to get moved sooner. Um, and she said, the other agent were charging me 1.5%, but they've told me if I launch it on Boxing Day, they'll do it for 1%. And I said, "Oh, well, call me psychic, but have you been speaking to Connells?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, of course." And I get the Boxing Day thing in terms of getting people to sign terms to launch, because basically you've got to hit a target in December. So it's just getting people to sign your terms because then you hit your target. I think they've got the wrong end of the stick with saying you can't put it on the market till Boxing Day unless they're really keen on winning the pie chart for that day. But you will have people that want to come on in the new year. And there's nothing wrong with getting a pre-contract signed, right? So, I mean, we take commitment fees, so it's a bit better for us here. So then if there's any time to take a commitment fee and literally, a literal commitment fee, it is to list something in December that's not going to launch to January. Because if someone's given you a few £100s in December, they're going to definitely still want to go ahead in January. So it's actually a good. You can get your photographs booked for the new year. You can get your proper information questionnaires done. You can get, say, the terms signed. So you can get everything up and running and going from there. So even if you like, we don't launch on Boxing Day because we don't work on Boxing Day. So I will be doing my clients a disservice, right? Um, but if you can speak to people now, you can come to market before in December. I still maintain at the minute we have buyers rather than viewers. If someone is going out looking at properties in December, then I'm fairly certain they're serious. They're not just looking for something to do, because lots of things to go and see in December. But if somebody is wanting to say, "Oh, look, we'll do it in January," well, okay, look, just come January, everybody's going to want to come to the market. My photographer's going to be booked up. Why don't we get a date in the diary now? And then also you've got all this paperwork to fill out. You're going to have some time off over Christmas. You can take your time to do it then. Yeah, so as you say, there's plenty of conversations to be having. There's plenty of business still to be done, but there's plenty of conversations to be had with people that even if you're not going to list it in December, you can list it in January, but let's get everything set up now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, I mean, the simple fact is there is always business to be done. It doesn't matter really what time of year it is, does it? There's always some business to be done, and there's always conversations to be had. Um, And actually, now's a great time to be speaking to people because you can ask them about their Christmas plans, and it's actually a conversation piece to give you a reason to call and wish them well before the end of the year. So there's absolutely no excuse really for not phoning someone because there's always something to talk about. Just
Same
on
with the
on the Boxing Day thing, sorry, I was just going to say the funny thing about that for me is I get why people do it because of the spike in traffic. But it is whether it's the right spike in traffic, isn't it? Because um, just because what the public psyche is not is, oh, it's Boxing Day, let me look for a house. What the public psyche is, I've just been given a new iPad for Christmas or a new laptop or a new mobile phone or whatever the device of choice is. Um, and so what I'm going to do is go onto one of the most well-known websites in the UK and browse them. So, and don't get me wrong.
the psyche actually goes beyond that. The psyche actually is, fuck's sake, the mother-in-law's over. I'm going to go away and hide and look at something. I've done Christmas Day with the family. I'm sick of everybody. I just want to scroll on the phone for a bit.
Yeah, that's it. And don't get me wrong, if somebody's scrolling on Rightmove, they are in the market because otherwise they wouldn't be looking. But I do believe there's a hell of a lot of browsers. So I think it's an artificial spike in traffic. So as you say, we don't need to get too bogged down in that. But I just listing a property on Boxing Day, as you say, most of the agents are going to be closed, and who's going to take the phone calls anyway?
Exactly. And also because you've really got me into this now. The basic supply and demand. Why would you want to launch your house when everybody else is launching their houses? Lease properties come to. I mean, we've missed it really now to talk, but lease properties come to market in November and December. So list your property then because you've got more eyes on your property. So yeah, as I say, it's a marketing technique. We all know why we do why they do it. You blame the Connells or Sequence Group for it, but I even see some independents kind of jumping on it because they don't really understand what it's all about. But it's done anyway. So we're not doing that. However, we are still speaking to people. And the other thing is, sorry, what I want to mention is touting, and prospecting. Because again, a lot of people, you get to mid-December, and I know a lot of people turn their tout letters off because they think, oh, people aren't going to want to swap agents this time of year. Great. What they might want to do. So our policy is if we take a property on the market that's been on with another agent, because we don't do multi-agency here because it's bad for the customer, is that I want that house to come off the market for a couple of weeks to basically let the market forget about it. And that works for the seller, right? Because actually it's December, it's coming up to Christmas. They might not necessarily want people over, they've got different plans. So if you're reaching out to people still and when they're talking to you, you're saying, look, I'm not saying I'm going to sell your house today, Mrs. Smith. What I'm saying is, why don't you just take it off the market, enjoy Christmas, let's get all our terms agreed. Let's get the photographer booked in, and we're going to launch you as a new property in the new year and go from there. That's another thing we've done. And again, so I've just I didn't check my emails yesterday, so I've had a lady call up off a letter I've been sending, and she's basically said, "Look, it's Christmas. Please stop writing to me, but can you phone me to arrange to come and see me in the new year?" And there are people out there like that. Oh, we all know. Sadly, January real spike in divorces. The new year, sadly, a lot of we get people pass away depending on the weather. And again, if you're just in people's consciousness because you've been leafleting still, or you've been sending them letters if they're on the market, you don't know what people have got kind of planned in their head. So if you really want a good January, you need to be at the front of people's minds in December.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and that's it's all about staying top of mind, isn't it? And the funny thing is, like you say about the letters, she said, "Oh, she's obviously been keeping your letters," and
Yeah.
the digital marketing specialists out there would probably say, "Oh no, this doesn't happen anymore." But people do still receive a piece of direct mail or a leaflet and think, "Oh, I'm not going to do that this side of Christmas, but in January I'll give these guys a call." So they stick it on their fridge or their notice board or whatever they've got. You know, I know we're in 2024 going into 2025, but that does still happen. People do still hold on to physical marketing assets and pin them to their fridge. So,
I, I,
um,
Mate, 100%. I was at Simon Ledbetter's course yesterday, the 30s of marketing in one day. Really good course, recommend it to anybody. And I haven't got the booklet on me, unfortunately, but the stats he showed for direct mail are crazy high. So it's like the third most the third best marketing method or something. So yeah, I mean, one thing he did say is it needs to be a mix of everything. But direct mail definitely works. And the other thing, interestingly, he said it, and Rightmove, I've seen them speak, and they've said it. In terms of where you spend your money, they reckon spend 60% on promoting the brand and 40% on trying to get the direct sale. So we're saying, so we're spending money obviously on sending letters to people, so trying to just grab that sale there and then. But as you mentioned, being front of mind, so you should still be pushing the brand through December. And with social media now, you don't actually have to spend money necessarily to do that. Um, but people have got a bit of time off, right? People are going to sit down, they are going to scroll their phones. So make sure your social media. I mean, I've already scheduled our Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, all those kind of posts. Obviously, we do some organic, off the cuff stuff ourselves as well, which we'll no doubt do. I'm hoping to get you in a Father Christmas costume. Um,
yeah, well, it's been done before.
yeah. So, and that's kind of stuff. So, attention is out there. People are going to be a bit bored over that Christmas period. So get some stuff out there. And even if you just want to schedule some stuff, having something is better than having nothing. So brand awareness can really ramp up, I think, during December.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think the other thing we were going to discuss people should be looking at doing ready for the new year, and sort of an exercise we've been doing. If you want to hit the ground running in January, is prepping your team and making sure everybody's clear on their individual role, their individual target, what we expect of them as a team member, what they need and what they can expect from us in return as well. If they hit those targets, what they will get for it, and sort of almost re-motivating your team, um, but just making sure everybody's clear on what their role is, what they're expected to deliver, and how we're going to do that.
Well, yeah, and I think it's a two-way street, right? So the team need to be clear on your expectations for the year. Basically, I've become a poet now. Um, But also, you as the employer want to be clear on your team's expectations, but also their hopes. What do they want to do next year? How much money do they want to earn in 2025? Are they looking to get promotion in 2025? What they looking to do. So if really, December's a great time to sit with them and say, look, what are your plans for next year? This time next year, where do you want to work? Because if it's not here, and that doesn't mean, oh, I'm leaving. It's like, well, look, I've always had this career to do this. Okay, cool. Well, you need to know that. We're all adults here. Let's have a conversation. But what job role do you want to be doing if it's with us? How much money do you want to earn? Okay, well, I want to earn 50 grand and I want to be a senior sales consultant. Okay, great. Well, fine. Well, in that case, you need to bank this much money and that's going to get you there, Or to be honest with you, I'm all right next year. I think I just want to take it easy. If I earn 35 grand, I'm happy. I'm live at home with mum and dad, whatever you get. Great. Just so you know, if you only bank 35 grand, that means we've only banked this. That's not going to work for us.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and it's fair because listen, people will spend a lot of time working. So it has to work for them, but also we pay basic wages, so it has to work for us, and that's an acceptable conversation. But I think if you can just know exactly what they want, what you want, and marry up the two, then there's no nasty surprises kind of come January.
Yeah, no, that's right. And obviously people can only work to expect, like, if they don't know what you expect of them, it's quite hard for them to deliver that because, well, because they don't know. No one's told them. So you've got to tell people what you expect out of them, um, and why you expect it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And actually, I think it's actually quite motivational because sometimes when you have those conversations with the team, they go, yeah, fine, and it fires them up, and they're like, right, I'm going for that now. Whereas they were like, oh yeah, well, I wasn't really sure. I'm just coming into work every day. I'm just sort of doing the doing, and I'm not really, striving. And it's, sometimes as a business owner, you think, well, why? Why is everybody not in here every day, banging out the phones, hammering business, going for it? Um, well, because people have different motivations, like you say. Sometimes it's the money, sometimes it's always money. If we're brutally honest, because it's always they want the money to provide something for them. So whether they want the car or whether they want the holiday or whether they don't want to work as much because they've earned the money and now they don't need to. Personally, everybody says, "Oh, money's not my motivator," but they come to work to earn money. So, in some way or shape or form, it does come back to the money. But if they're not clear on how they're going to get to that money or what you expect them to do, then of course, sometimes they just don't know how to get there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's just about everybody being, for the use of cliche, everyone being on the same page. This year's done. You could have had a record year this year and fantastic, but that year's done. So, you're only sadly in sales, you're as good as your last month, but you're also only as bad as your last month. So even if you had a record month, sorry, a record year, you still need to have everything planned for next year. And if you've had a shocker of a year, which people have, and that's okay because I know you don't see it on social media, but people have had bad years. Well, then you need to make sure you've got everything in place. And I would say if you've had a real shocker of a year or a bad year, I would hazard a guess that you hadn't had your clear plans and structure and expectations at the start of 2024.
Mm.
And if that's the case, if you listen to this and you're going, no, hands up, I didn't set the expectations at the start of 2024. It's been a bad year. Perhaps those Bulldogs know what they're talking about. I'm going to set my expectations. Like worst case, you have another bad year, but you've set some expectations. It's not going to get any worse. So try it, set the expectations, have the chats with the team. The other uplift from it is people actually work harder when they feel valued, when they feel listened to. So actually, if you have these meetings with them, and especially if you haven't had them before, and they're actually like, oh God, they actually care about what I want next year, where I want to go,
Mm. Yeah,
then I think you'll find you'll get kind of because listen, the recruiters are all coming in January, right? January is a great time, and it was all new year, new job, all that. So if your team are going starting the year feeling valued, listened to, heard, then you've got a better chance of keeping them and doing some great work together.
100%. So I think, yeah, really, it's just about planning, setting expectations, listening to your team, but not eating too many mince pies and doing nothing else. Keep
Exactly.
going.
There's still work to be had out there. There's still business to be done. Do not stop marketing in December. Let's say do not stop marketing ever, really, but do not stop marketing in December. There's some people who've got some time on their hands to look at their phones. Make sure you're in front of them.
100%. Well, I guess we should wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Actually, there probably will be one more podcast before Christmas, won't there? We've still got, yeah. So I've jumped the gun a little bit there,
Something on a little bit there,
but
Neil.
I'm going to wish people Merry Christmas twice in one year, so no problem.
You're a generous
Um,
man.
Yeah, but listen, if you're enjoying what we're doing, try and publish this every week, and it always goes on our YouTube channel, Baldock Brothers YouTube channel. So please do like and subscribe so you get notified when one of these podcasts come out. And we will see you all for another episode next week.
See you later. Thank you.
See ya.